Obviously, visitors are not going to come without casinos and shows and things.
Well, no, they'll come because they love. We've got Major League Sports here, and we've got so many answers. I'd love everything open because I think we've had viruses for years that have been here.
That is the call.
So what you just saw there was Anderson Cooper interviewing Las Vegas Mayor Carolyn Goodman, and she was arguing that it's time to reopen the economy, implying that it's also time to reopen casinos, sports stadiums, and other high-capacity venues, even though nobody with any scientific background or understanding thinks it's anywhere near time to make those sorts of decisions. And you can see Anderson Cooper being visibly frustrated, being visibly perplexed, almost in disbelief about what this mayor is saying, basically willing to put the lives of her citizens and the lives of people beyond Las Vegas at risk. It's just total insanity that she thinks it's time to do this. Look, I get the self-interest. She's mayor of the town. People are out of work. They're not happy. The tax revenue isn't flowing like it normally does. And the businesses in the town aren't profiting like they normally do. And so she thinks the best thing I can do for my political career and for the economy of my community is to get people back to work and screw the consequences, damn the consequences. But the reality is that people will lose their life if this woman gets her way. And Anderson Cooper is just so angry to see that. And I'm glad, because we have this image of journalists and they're supposed to be, dispassionate and just ask the questions and get the answers. But I think in a moment like this, we see a man that knows he's being BS'd and isn't putting up with it. And it's refreshing to basically have him call out this mayor who wants to put people at risk so they can fill their Las Vegas venues like they were filled a few weeks ago and like they will eventually be filled when we get through this crisis. And there was another part of this interview where the mayor sort of takes her mask off and implies that we shouldn't be held to the same standards because this is America, this is Las Vegas, this isn't China. And Anderson Cooper rightly calls her out.
There's Chinese researchers have shown how this virus spreads, and I just want to put up for our viewers. This is a restaurant.
Anderson, you are tough.
No, I'm not talking.
Back to China. This isn't China. Yeah, this is Las Vegas, Nevada.
Wow. Okay, that's really ignorant. This is a restaurant. And the yellow circle, that's an ignorant statement. That's a restaurant, and yes, it's in China, but there are human beings too. That yellow is a person who is asymptomatic and infected, and all those other red circles are other diners who that one diner passed the virus to. All those other people became infected in a restaurant that had air conditioning, and they believe it was the air conditioning which helped the virus spread to all those other people.
So as you see there, she's arguing that this is America. In America, we don't have to do the things that Chinese people did. In America, we don't have to do the things people in developing countries might have to do. We're different. We're special. We're above consequences. And as Anderson Cooper notes, that is an ignorant statement, and that is a dangerous statement. She tries to laugh it off, but Anderson Cooper is 100% right. He shows a diagram of a restaurant and how one person spread the illness to many others across the room, and it wasn't even a particularly crowded space. Imagine a Las Vegas buffet, a Las Vegas casino floor, a Las Vegas concert hall, a Las Vegas hockey arena where the Golden Knights play. Imagine that, and it's what that image is on absolute steroids. This mayor is just emblematic of the sort of short-sighted vision we're seeing from a lot of people in the United States. A lot of these protesters that are basically saying it's time to reopen the economy, even though people will lose their lives. It was like that person in Tennessee who basically held up a sign saying, "Sacrifice the weak, reopen Tennessee." And what that tells me is that there's a lot of people that really are making the decision, or want to make the decision, that a few more people losing their lives maybe many, many, many more people losing their lives is worth it to get the venues open, to protect their own political careers, to make it look like they're getting something done for their municipality. And I'm glad to see Anderson Cooper hammer her repeatedly on her irresponsible claims and her irresponsible objectives. And that picture of Anderson Cooper, where he takes his glasses off and he's clearly rubbing his face, just captures in one frame, or at least in a few frames, just how so many of us are feeling when we see these protesters, when we see these politicians willing to put us all at risk for their personal gain. Just utter frustration, utter fatigue, utter exhaustion. And I get it. I've noted this before, that there are a lot of people that are very frustrated right now because they are going through legitimate economic struggle, that they don't have enough money to pay for their basic necessities. But the point isn't to send people back to work. The point is to fight for better benefits that allow people to stay home. If people like Bernie Sanders, Maxine Waters, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib had their way, American working and middle class people wouldn't have to suffer to protect one another. That's the real travesty here. The travesty here isn't that businesses are closed. The travesty here isn't that Las Vegas venues are empty. The travesty is that governments all across the United States, including in the White House, have given working class people a poison pill choice. Save yourselves and your loved ones in your community, or face severe economic struggles. That's the travesty here. These sorts of mayors that are offering pie-in-the-sky solutions that will risk people's lives are doing a fundamental disservice. It's great to see Anderson Cooper display that insanity to his viewership.